What is up, fellow YouTubers? So, I got my wands in the mail. There's a post office that's conveniently a little bit closer to my apartment, which is why I like going to it. So keep an eye out for those of you who ordered wands from this last batch. Now, if you did not get a wand from this last batch, do not worry. I will still continue to make wands. However, because it's the holidays, I'll be taking the next week and a half off for making wands just because, you know, yeah. So, did you know that Donald Trump's tax cut for the rich is going to cost taxpayers a whopping $200 trillion? So basically, for the next 10 years, American taxpayers are going to be paying a whopping $200 trillion just so Trump and his rich buddies can have tax cuts. You know what I'm saying? Now, if I was president, I would lower tax rates for the poor and middle class. And I wouldn't even increase or decrease the taxes for the rich. They'd just stay where they're at. You know, they'd have to pay their fair share, but it wouldn't be as much, you know. It'd be a little bit more than just a pinch more than the middle class, but not much, you know. I mean, which is fair because, you know, this country needs a stable economy. Which brings me to my next point. If Trump plans on making taxpayers spend the next 10 years paying a whopping $200 trillion just so him and his rich buddies can have a tax cut, how's he going to pay for all that? You know, when you're the president of the United States, it's your job to make sure this country's budgeting plan isn't completely fucked 10 ways till Sunday. And right now, Trump is treating this country's economy budget like one of his failed businesses. This is something I sincerely hoped he wouldn't do when he entered office. When Trump first entered office, I'm like, well, we would have been no better off with Hillary Clinton, so... I felt like there were a lot more qualified females to be president. Hillary Clinton's just not one of them. And I'm not the only person who says this. I've actually heard a lot of females say they don't trust Hillary Clinton. You know, I mean, and if the only reason you're voting for her is because she's a female, not because she's a good candidate, then, you know, you're missing the point completely. But when Trump first took office, I'm like, I don't like it, but I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. You know, I figured as long as he doesn't try to fuck this country's economy over harder than a trucker getting head at a truck stop from a hooker, then we should be fine. 5 to 6 months later, actually, let me do it right. 5 to 6 months later, And now, 5 to 6 months later, we're faced with Trump committing at least five impeachable offenses. As soon as Bill Clinton lied to the nation about cheating on his wife, he was impeached. Donald Trump does the same thing. Donald Trump does the same thing and lies about it, doesn't get impeached. Now, the next thing I'm going to say may be kind of contradicting to this entire video, but as long as Donald Trump doesn't try, as long as Donald Trump doesn't start World War III and IV, we should be good. You know, I think the person they would replace, and this thing of it, if they impeached Donald Trump, it'd be nice if they replaced him with Bernie Sanders, but that's not how the political system works. And it's safe to say that the person they would replace Trump with would be a lot more corrupt, a lot worse than Trump. So, as long as Donald Trump doesn't try to start the next World War, we should be fine. How can you say that after you just said what you just said? But I know it's contradicting. But you gotta think these things through, YouTube, like, all the way. And I mean, if Trump legalizes pot, then this country's economy will fucking skyrocket like you wouldn't believe. So instead of taking 10 years to pay off that $200 trillion debt, it may take like maybe 5 to 4 years. So unless Trump plans on doing something great like legalizing pot, which I've heard rumor that Trump's in favor of decriminalizing cannabis. You know, he talks about how much he loves money. Oh, Trump Towers has gold-plated toilets, so you can shit and piss like a king. Only at Trump Towers. Yeah, he talks about how much he's worth, how much he loves money. He's just got this snobby rich guy arrogance. You know what I'm saying? Like, this stereotypical... Like, his ego is so inflated. It's to compensate for his shitty presidency and the fact that he has a small dick. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. And do you know how many guys would kill to have a wife or a girlfriend as hot as his wife? I'm not bullshitting you. I'm being straight up 100% real right now. There are so many guys out there that would literally sell their soul to date a chick as hot as his wife and treat her 1,000 times better at that. I'm just saying. She's literally dating someone old enough to be her grandfather, or maybe an older father figure. I don't know. And the only reason she dates him is because he has money and because he's the president. I guarantee you, if he didn't have those things, she wouldn't date him. She'd be like, ugh. You know, gold digger. Shit, excuse me. Oh, fuck, I had a cough. No, but I shouldn't be too mean to Trump's wife. She didn't really do anything to deserve Trump cheating on her. And, you know, the only time cheating is justified is when they do it to you. You know? If you're doing it to get back at them. And I know people like Bill Barr would say, oh, you've never been tempted at the level these men have been tempted at. So you're sitting there shaming them in front of your girlfriends like, oh, I can't believe this man would do such a horrible thing. But even if I was tempted at that level, I don't think I could bring myself to do it. Cheating ruined a good relationship I had with the girl, and ever since then, I've never done it again. It ruined a good thing that I had, and I ruined it. And there's nothing I can do about it, except learn from my mistakes. Funny how life works out. But it's weird because the first time you get laid, all of a sudden people are just throwing themselves at you. Like, what the hell changed before you get laid? It's like they can sense it, you know. And maybe subconsciously it's not even that. Maybe when I noticed that when you have a girlfriend, it brings out the confidence, and that could be why people throw themselves at you when that kind of thing happens. Is when you get a boyfriend or a girlfriend that's good for you, men and women subconsciously exert more confidence. Yeah. But you got your whole life ahead of you. You shouldn't be in a hurry to date. Figure out what you want to do with your career first. Because dating costs money, and you got to figure out a strong career before you can even consider dating. Because trust and believe, once you get a good career behind your back, once you get a good career behind your back, everything else is much easier. But in order to get a good career, you have to at least graduate high school first. And you have to have good grades, passing to A+, And if you're passing all your classes, maybe you don't have straight A's, but at least you're passing. It's better than nothing. If you can at least get your grades to a passing level, or it's acceptable, now, that's too much pressure. That's the thing of it. You can't expect don't pressure your kids into getting straight A's all the time. Pressure them to succeed and do their best. Because when you're putting, like you put way too much pressure on your youngins to constantly achieve and do better, and, let them come to that conclusion themselves. If they want to do better, let them make that choice, If they're passing their classes, then, if they're just barely passing to acceptable, then awesome. Tell them to keep it up. Because there's no need to raise a bunch of overachievers who are constantly under stress to always be their best. Society gives us enough of that crap as it is. We don't need to force that mentality onto our kids. Society makes us go through that enough with different things as it is. And just because society says you're a loser if you don't have a girlfriend, fuck society. You know what I'm saying? It'll happen when it happens. Don't rush it. When it comes to romance and a relationship like that, don't rush it. Good things come to those who wait patiently. And here's the thing of it, YouTube. Life is not just going to hand you opportunity. A lot of us regular folks have to work hard to get where we're at in life. And my example to this is, do you think my wands would sell as quickly on Etsy if I didn't have a growing YouTube channel? And the answer is no. So sometimes that's what it takes. Building a solid structure of a concept, you know, a good solid platform to build your career. Every good career needs a solid platform. And that solid platform starts by getting a good education. And, you know, now here's the thing about YouTube is you're not there to make friends. When you go to school, you're not there to make friends. You're there to make your grades happen. But if you can make some friends in school, it makes school life a little bit easier. Unfortunately, YouTube, we live in a judgmental society, so if you're more of a quiet, shy, reserved person, people look at you like you're a freaking weirdo. Like, who is this person? And if they want to be judgmental, that's their fault, not yours. You know. If they want to judge you, that's their fault, not yours. Because you're going places with your life. What are they doing? Sitting on their ass and talking shit. Exactly. So let them talk shit. Because when you get older and you're more successful than they are, they're working their crappy 9-to-5 job and you're living like a king. Then what? You go back to your high school reunion, the same assholes that are talking shit to you in high school are still talking shit. You go back to your class reunion, and you just rub it in their smug asshole faces. Oh, so what have you done since high school? Well, you know, I got this 9-to-5er. It don't pay the best, but at least it keeps food on the table. You know, I can't complain. What have you done? Oh, well, I started my own company. Now I'm a super successful person. Blah, blah, blah. Want to see pictures of my house? Swipe, 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 swipes. But even if you're in that situation, should you brag? And the answer is no. Be humble. If you become more successful than the assholes that bullied you in school, and you're at the class reunion talking to people, be humble. Even though it's tempting to brag and gloat and be like, fuck you, I'm still better than you 10 years later. No, be humble. Okay, let's see what's crack-a-lackin' on my newest Pipe Thoughts video, because I'm sure there are some people who have left comments on that. Let's see. Stop, fellow YouTubers. Hey Josh, big fan. Did you get the xu08 tour shirt I sent you? I think I may have gotten the wrong address. Oh, I got it. Yes, thank you. Yes. Yeah, that shirt was pretty sick. Thank you. Josh, have you ever thought about starting a podcast? There seems to be a lot of money in that lately. I think you'd be the next Joe Rogan with your extensive knowledge on so many topics. Another amazing video, by the way. Something to consider. Someone says, hey, what's up? I swear I eat pizza a lot more ever since I started watching your videos. Are you getting sick? That's a lot of phlegm. No, I don't think so. It could just be allergies. I don't know. In fact,
just in time for the busiest shopping days of the year, we've got the beat.
It was brought to my attention that Trump's re-election campaign has not only begun, but it has begun in some creative ways. And so recently, take a look.
President Trump has achieved more during his time in office than any president in history. And that is why I need every Trump supporter to pick up the phone right now and deliver a personal thank you to your president. We have a booming economy, historic low unemployment, including the lowest unemployment rate for minorities in history. We are bringing jobs back to America through new trade deals, and the world is a safer place. We need to let President Trump know that we appreciate what he's doing for America. I need you to call the number on your screen and deliver a thank you to President Trump. Call or go online now.
Call 800-684-3043 now and press 1 to tell President Trump thank you.
Thank you, President Trump.
Thank you, President Trump. Thank you, President Trump.
President Trump needs to hear from his supporters by calling 800-684-3043 or visit DonaldJTrump.com/TV to thank President Donald Trump.
Okay, two of my favorite things from that ad. First was after listing a number of things that Donald Trump didn't actually accomplish, he said that Trump has made the world a safer place, unless you're a Washington Post journalist who gets murdered and dismembered by the Saudi royals. Yeah. Not a safer place for those people. Other thing is, there was one fact in that, and that fact was, Trump needs to hear from his supporters.
That's true.
He needs to hear how much you love him because he has the thinnest skin ever. But you know what? I think that it was a compelling video, and it actually it made me want to call and thank Trump.
Oh, yeah.
And I wanted to share that call with you guys, so let's take a look.
Thank you for calling to show your support for President Trump and thank him for his efforts to make America great again. After the tone, state your name and leave a brief thank you message for President Trump. Again, state your name and say thank you after the tone.
Hey, what's up, Individual One? My name's Anna, and I just want to thank you so much for leading the effort in dismantling the Affordable Care Act. You know, my mom had kidney transplant surgery 2 years ago, so she's got a very serious pre-existing condition. But thanks to you and congressional Republicans, people like my mom can look forward to having their private insurance companies drop them for pre-existing conditions. So thanks for that. I'm especially impressed by your determination to drill and mine in national parks. People often say that you don't have enough experience to be president, but those people probably don't know that you've had a lifetime of drilling other women behind your wife's back. Also, don't think I forgot about those tax cuts for your rich buddies. I mean, I'm really grateful for that, especially since it's going to cost the country $2 trillion over the next 10 years. Lastly, I do want to express my gratitude for showing how strong the country is by directing Border Patrol agents to pepper spray migrant women and children. You know, that really proves how strong we are as a country and how our leadership is just big league. And finally, you continue to demonstrate your true bravery through your tweets, especially when you complain about SNL making fun of you. So again, thank you, Mr. President. I really appreciate all your hard work. Bitch.
I didn't expect that last part. You know,
I did that as a joke, and the editors kept it in. So
okay. So I'm glad you pressed that you hung up before saying that, because there's some chance that they will relay that to him. They you're not that bright. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh man, you should hear this one message. I mean, this woman is totally into you. I mean, she thanked you like 5 different times, like macing the women and kids in the face. She thought that was strong, right? Okay, now, as usual with this stuff, let's break it down. If Trump was someone in your life, like whenever you think about it, like I remember when he said, you know, there are 2 things I'm best known for in my life: being mentally stable and like a smart person. Okay, somebody in your real life said that, you'd like literally call the police, like he's obviously needs medication.
Let's make sure he doesn't have weapons.
Right, exactly, right? So in this case, could you imagine somebody comes to your house, like a friend, because you know what? I need you to call this hotline to thank me, okay? That's what you need to do. Thank me. But
oh, man. Yeah, that was pretty savage, man. That when I first saw that, I was like, that's funny. I thought that shit was hilarious.